If you've been following the recent news regarding crossplay on a number of games, this really comes as no surprise that Sony is continuing their current stance against crossplay between the PlayStation 4 and other consoles like the Xbox One and Nintendo Switch. Recently, in an interview, Bethesda studio head Todd Howard was asked about crossplay in the upcoming entry in the Fallout franchise, Fallout 76. When given the question, he answered very directly and made it no secret by calling out Sony directly for their lack of support of crossplay across consoles. This is exactly what he had to say, quote, "You cannot do crossplay in 76. We'd really love that, but right now we can't. Sony is not as helpful as everyone would like." So there you have it. Sony is once again blocking crossplay on yet another massive game that no doubt will have many gamers up in arms, and rightfully so. On the other hand, though, it is important to note that this could be subject to change because in Todd Howard's own words, it is not possible, quote, right now. Do I think it will eventually happen? Probably not. And looking back on this very same issue of crossplay in just the past year alone, Sony has been very much against the idea of allowing PlayStation 4 owners from having the opportunity to play against gamers on other consoles. Games like Rocket League, Minecraft do not have crossplay between PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch or Xbox One due to Sony not allowing this feature, even though developers and gamers alike have been pushing very hard for this to change. Most recently, and the biggest instance of outrage of Sony's strong resistance to any form of crossplay, is the recent Fortnite debacle that not only made it so gamers could not play against Xbox One and Nintendo Switch owners, but it even went as far as to lock any and every Epic account that has ever been linked to a corresponding PlayStation Network account. This means that if you had cosmetic items and progression on your Epic account that you at any point had connected to PSN, you can never access that progression and items you either bought or earned on any other consoles like the Nintendo Switch or Xbox One. You are forced to create a whole new Epic account altogether. This is anti-consumer, to say the least. We found out that this was due to Sony not wanting gamers to have access to any items that were not purchased on PSN. Now, it is important to note also that Sony is not 100% against crossplay. Since the beginning of this generation, crossplay with PC and mobile has been allowed by Sony, just not with their competitors' consoles. Games like Final Fantasy XIV, Rocket League, and Fortnite have crossplay available between PlayStation 4, PC, and mobile. So like most things that are negative in this world, it all comes down to greed. However, there is another element to this. Sony has almost nothing to gain by promoting crossplay between other consoles. At this point, the PlayStation 4 user base is nearly twice the size of both the Nintendo Switch and Xbox One's user base combined. Sony really doesn't need the additional players from different platforms in order to fill the servers and provide additional players for their console users to play against, and this is why I believe they refuse to participate in cross-console crossplay. It does them, in a sense, no benefit whatsoever to allow this functionality. This absolutely sucks for us as gamers and consumers, as the prospect of this feature is very exciting. You would be able to play against your friends regardless of what console you're on, and at the same time it creates a larger player pool for you to play with or against. Crossplay is nothing but a positive for us as gamers, but not so much for Sony, and that is why they don't want to allow it to happen. Sony wants people to be of the mindset that if they want to go out and play against PlayStation 4 players on console, they will have to go out and buy a PlayStation 4. They don't want people thinking, oh, if I want to play with my friend on PlayStation 4, I can just boot up my Xbox One or Nintendo Switch and play against them. No, they want you to go out and buy a PlayStation 4 because it makes them more money in the long run. The best way to try and get this to change is to keep the pressure up, keep asking for it, but honestly at this point I don't really think it'll make much of a difference. If a game as big as Fortnite failed to force Sony's hand, I doubt a game like Fallout 76 will do much to change that sad reality. This is what happens when a console is outpacing the competition nearly 2-1. The same thing happened with the Xbox 360 last generation when Microsoft had the best-selling console. They blocked all crossplay between the PS3 and the Xbox 360, so this is nothing nothing new. But in today's even more interconnected world, the excuses are running out, and it's time to make a change that benefits us, the consumer, rather than the corporation. Keep up the pressure and maybe something will change, but honestly, it just seems too far gone at this point. At least in this console generation, that Sony will have a sudden change of heart on this topic. Only time will tell though, and nothing bad can ever come of asking for more for your money. But let me know your thoughts on Fallout 76 and this whole crossplay issue. Do you think it's that big of a deal, or is it something you could not care less about? Personally, crossplay is a very cool feature that I've always wanted ever since I got into online gaming, especially during the PS3 and Xbox 360 era, when I had a PS3 and all of my friends had an Xbox 360, and I couldn't really play with them. So for me, it is a very cool feature, but sadly, it has barely gained any traction, and it sucks that it's not being supported by Sony when Nintendo and Microsoft have fully embraced the practice, and many developers are behind it as well, but it's not a deal breaker for me in a sense. But anyway, guys, make sure to let me know your thoughts on this in the comments section below. Also, make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, or hit the dislike button if you did not. Consider subscribing for future videos like this one, and click the bell for notifications so you are notified every single time I upload a brand new video. Follow me on Twitter at Griffin_gaming, or click the link in the description below. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.